welcome to my garden in April. Later in this video I will give you a full garden tour, but first some images of the garden in lovely spring colors. For me, those are mostly pale yellows, whites and greens with a splash of soft apricots. Hidden in my daffodil flowers, I found this tiny little white spider with his little legs spread widely, ready to catch insects. Later I found that he has caught a fly. After removing all the juices from the fly, he throws it away and gets back into hunting position, well camouflaged against the white of the daffodil flower. I do find spiders a little bit scary, but somehow this little fellow seemed rather cute to me. The tulips are flopping a bit over the path. I love the combination with the blues of the forget-me-nots and brownera. I will definitely add more of them. The browneras have quite decorative leaves as well. On my terrace I have quite a joyful mix of colors, packed with all sorts of spring flowers. In the terracotta pots I have a mix of daffodils and tulips in creamy whites, pale yellows and apricots. I absolutely adore these new geums. They have the perfect apricot color. Hello everyone and welcome back to my garden and this spring garden tour. There are so many spring bulbs in flower now and I can't wait to show them to you. I have quite a variety of daffodils here in the terracotta pots and some tulips and geums. Now I start with this one. This is a daffodil called Tender Beauty, first time that I'm growing this, and it is already one of my favorites. It does quite well, lots of flowers, don't need any staking. It flowers for a very long time, it has been flowering for at least 2 weeks now. It is a creamy white with beautiful apricot center. I absolutely adore this one. And then there's another one of my favorites. That one is called Petit Four. I've been growing those for 3 years now. Absolutely adore these flowers with their double flower centers, really pretty. And I have a new variety here. This one has really tiny flowers, tiny creamy whites with lots of flowers on one stem. And I have to check for you what it is called. Let's see if I can find a label in here somewhere. And that one is called Silver Chimes. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's really pretty, I think. And then I went to the garden center and I bought some new geums. I absolutely adore the color of this one. It's that perfect apricot color. I've been looking for such a long time for such a color. I have Mai Tai, but it's a little bit more orangey, and this is a little bit more pastel-y, so absolutely adore this one. And that one is called Victoria Sponge. And I think it works really, really well with the Petit Four. The center of the petit four has that same color. Absolutely stunning. I've moved the tulips. They were at the back of my garden near the wooden bench. The exotic emperor. But I thought it looked really nice here in combination with the daffodils. So moved it up here. Tulips. This is a variety called Hakoon. They're still flowering between the boxwood. They've been flowering for 2 weeks now. And I also have them here alongside the path. I think it looks really lovely with the forget-me-nots. But before we go there, I'd like to show you my potting table, which isn't a potting table anymore, but more of a display table. And I have loads and loads of spring bulbs here. A little bit too many, but I absolutely adore them. Lots of varieties here. Again, another geum. Then I have a yellow wallflower. And I have the petit four, the petit four daffodils here as well. I have some really lovely daffodils here. Those ones. Some have multiple flowers on their stems, not all of them. This is a variety called Curly. And I think it looks really natural. And the scent is absolutely amazing. So we'll be growing more of those. And behind it I have the Ice King daffodils. Most of them already finished flowering. They should flower somewhere in March, so they were quite late this year. And because they were flowering so late this year, now all the daffodils are flowering at the same time. So yeah, that was not the plan, but sometimes it's just how it works. I have some really pretty ones here as well. This one is called Edinburgh. Really pretty peachy apricot center. And I have some tulips here. Absolutely gorgeous color, double flowers. And those are called, I'll check for you. Forgot the name of these ones. These are called Coral Blush. I think they're really pretty, but somehow they do not work with my color scheme of the rest of the garden. So that's why I placed them here. Because they do work very well with these ones, with the primroses. I think they go really well together. And on the table there's some more wallflowers at the back, the yellow ones. Lots of primroses, and also have these little ones. Forgot the names of them, only know the Latin name. Not sure what they're called. I have an explosion of color in the garden. Spring is really bringing the garden to life. So let's have a look at the back of the garden. Along the path I have the tulips. Beautiful white Hakoon tulips. These are the ones that I planted 2 years ago. This is the second time they're flowering. So they repeat flowering quite well. And I have lots of forget-me-nots. These are all self-sown. And then I have the Branra. This is a perennial forget-me-not and I really like them. Because this side of the garden doesn't get much sun. Mostly shade, dry shade. And nothing grows there. But yeah, those ones, the Branras, really tough plants. They seem to like it here, so that's perfect. I really like how the tulip flowers are dancing like little lights just above the boxwood domes. Nothing new here in this little border. Most of the hellebores have finished flowering, so I need to remove the flower heads. And there's still some flowering here. This one is going strong. Spotted Beauty. Still flowering. And then there's lots of new buds from the ferns to come, new leaves, so I can cut back the old ones. This is a variety called Herrenhausen. It's an evergreen fern, so absolutely perfect for winter interest. There's lots of geums here to come, little buds. This is a variety called Mai Tai. It was getting way too hot in the house for the seedlings, so I've placed them here outside, and during the nights, I placed them inside again because it's still quite cold during the nights. And some of the other seedlings I've placed here in the polytunnel. I've removed all the agapanthus that were in the polytunnel. They're behind it now, but they're quite sheltered here, so they will do fine. They will go on display when all the spring bulbs have finished flowering. In the polytunnel I have the tomatoes, and I have some courgettes here, some Brussels sprouts, but they're definitely not happy. So I think I need to sow another batch, or maybe just buy tiny plants from the garden center. I'm having some melons here, and over here some of the dahlias are already sprouting. I have some more tulips here waiting to go on display. I have the peas. They're not particularly doing well, not too happy. Then lots of seedlings, lots of cosmos, all kinds of varieties. And then I have some phlox here, the cherry caramel that I love so much, growing last year. The cosmos, I have Kiro, vegde, and double pink. Then I have a couple of apricotas and lots of lemonade cosmos, really pretty flowers, bit of yellow and pink. In these little borders I have lots of alliums, and I'm not sure if they will flower this year. I see some buds, but not a lot. So it's mostly foliage, and it looks really ugly, I think. I don't know why that is, but the tips are all burnt. And over there in this border I have many more alliums. Already cut back a little bit of the foliage because it was looking so messy. But as you see behind, it's flopping, and I hardly see any flower buds. So I'm not sure if they will flower. If they don't, I'm going to remove it because it's looking really, really messy. I have another hellebore. Bought this one in winter. It flowered, and then it was finished flowering, and somehow it's getting new buds, and it's flowering for a second time. Really pretty blooms. And I think I'm going to plant it here. I wasn't sure, but I think it will look nice here. There's lots of Spanish hyacinths here in flower, white ones, large clumps. They seem to be happy here. And I have a lot of them behind the hydrangea Annabelle. Because I do find that the foliage that needs to die back naturally looks quite ugly when they're finished flowering. And then the Annabelle foliage will take over, so you won't see it. That's why I placed it out of sight a bit. Another display of daffodils. My new favorites, the Tender Beauty, absolutely stunning. And then this little one. Those are the curly daffodils. And the fragrance is absolutely amazing. So for the fragrance you definitely should grow it, but they're also very pretty and they look quite natural. So I think these will work perfectly in the garden as well. And then behind it I have some other of my favorites. Those are pure white. The Tender Beauty is more of a creamy white, as you can see. But those ones are pure white and they have a really lovely scent as well. And those ones are called Acropolis. I really love these flowers as well. They remind me a bit of orchids. Really, really pretty. Do quite well. Don't need staking. So yeah, quite perfect. And on the other side of the bench I have the same display, same flowers, like a bit of symmetry in the garden. Also love the new growth of the boxwood. The green looks so fresh. I absolutely love the vibrant green colors of them. The roses are doing quite well. Lots of new shoots, lots of new flower buds. Already gave them some dried cow manure. Lots of feeding, so I hope they will perform well this year. My working and messy area of the garden. I finally managed to prune the tree, so yeah, the branches are still here. Need to get rid of them, but I hadn't had the time yet. And this corner is where I leave the spring bulbs that have finished flowering. They can die back there slowly out of sight. I still grow some strawberries here. And I have my polytunnel with lots of dahlias, but I'm not sure if I will get many plants because many of the tubers were quite dry. So yeah, I don't know if they will still grow, but we'll see. Next year I will store them in a different way. I store them in the house, but I think it's too hot and dry. So I think next year I will store them in the garage. But we do have frost there, so I need to protect them. Some more spring bulbs waiting to go on display. More tulips, not in flower yet. More tulips here. I will show you them when they are in flower. And here I have another daffodil. Just started flowering. I think this one is really pretty as well. If only I can find a label. This is what it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Delnayu. I'm not sure. But it's a pretty daffodil. Hope you all have an amazing springtime and enjoy your garden as much as I do. Wishing you lots of love and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.